Did you know that until recently, a child as young as 14 years of age could be tried and convicted as an adult and sentenced to an adult state prison term? Well, all that just changed, and I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about the amendments to the Juvenile Waiver laws here in New Jersey. Hi, I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg. I'm a criminal defense attorney and the founding partner of Rosenberg, Perry & Associates. And isn't it crazy to think that a child as young as 14 years of age could be charged and convicted as an adult and sentenced to a term of state prison as an adult? Well, the laws just recently changed in New Jersey, and it's important to understand the difference between juveniles and adults here in New Jersey and why these changes are so significant. So first, let's talk about the difference between the juvenile system and the adult system here in New Jersey. A juvenile in the state of New Jersey is a term of art. It means anyone under the age of 18. So if you are charged with something that would be a crime or an offense and you're under the age of 18, you are charged as a juvenile. You are not charged in a criminal complaint, you are charged on a complaint of juvenile delinquency. It is not the state of New Jersey versus the defendant, it is the state of New Jersey in the interest of the juvenile. And that's because juvenile complaints are heard in the family court chancery division by a family court judge, typically assigned to the juvenile unit. If you're an adult charged with a felony in New Jersey, you are prosecuted in the Superior Court of New Jersey, Law Diversion, Criminal Part. If you're charged with a misdemeanor in New Jersey, you are prosecuted in that local municipal court. The goal of the adult system is punishment. The goal of the juvenile system is to rehabilitate. And that's one of the reasons why it's in the family court, which is a court of equity, rather than the Superior Court Law Division Criminal Part. And the consequences imposed in the juvenile court are significantly different from the adult court. In addition to the focus on rehabilitation, the proposed penalties are significantly less severe. By way of example, if you're a juvenile and you're convicted of robbery, you are exposed to 4 years in a juvenile facility where you're eligible for parole after 1/3 of that sentence. On the other hand, if you are convicted of robbery as an adult, you're exposed to between 10 and 20 years in state prison, 85% of which must be served without the possibility of parole. So the consequences are real and significantly different. So now that you know the difference between adult and juvenile court, what does it mean for a juvenile to be waived to an adult court? Well, there are certain offenses that New Jersey deems to be waivable offenses. So waivable offenses are specific offenses that are viewed by the government as so significant that they're worthy of punishment in the adult court, even if they are committed by a juvenile. So what are the changes that were made to the juvenile waiver law? Well, firstly, the timing of the application to waive the juvenile. Previously, the government had 30 days from the date of the offense to decide whether or not they were going to waive this juvenile to adult court. That 30-day time period was expanded to 60 days. Secondly, and maybe most significantly, prior to the amendment to the statute, a child as young as 14 years of age could be waived to adult court. That was amended. Now, 15 years of age is the threshold. There's also additional changes to the law that make the punishment of that juvenile, even if they're waived to adult court, less severe. If in adult court the juvenile is convicted of a non-waivable offense, now the entire matter gets sent back down to the juvenile court and the juvenile is prosecuted as a juvenile. That was not the case previously. Another very significant change to the law is where the juvenile would serve their sentence if convicted of an adult offense. Previous to the amendment, if a juvenile is waived to adult court and they were convicted of that adult crime, they served their sentence in an adult facility. Now, there's a presumption that if the juvenile is convicted of the adult crime, they serve their sentence in a juvenile facility. That is a very significant change in law and tremendously beneficial to any juvenile who's waived to adult court and is ultimately convicted. The last significant change that I wanted to highlight is solitary confinement for juveniles. Prior to this change in the law, juveniles were permitted to be punished by virtue of solitary confinement, and they were able to be punished with no time restraints. Now, the new law absolutely prohibits solitary confinement of juveniles as a form of punishment. Solitary confinement is permissible if it's for safety reasons or non-punishment reasons, and there is time limits associated with solitary confinement at this point. There are many other changes to the law. These are some of the most significant ones that you should be aware of if you're facing a juvenile charge, if you have a family member facing a juvenile charge that could potentially be waived to adult court. So if you or someone you know has a juvenile that's facing criminal charges and potentially could be waived to adult court, or isn't potentially exposed to waiver but wants to know more about what their options are, contact our office. We're happy to help in any way that we can. We can schedule a consultation, go over the facts and circumstances of your particular case, and give you blunt and honest advice. And if you like the contents of this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if there's anything you'd like to learn more about, please leave a comment below or contact our office. I'd be happy to hear about it. We are criminal trial attorneys. We have your back. That's what we do.